Hi everyone, Andrew here again, out and about for a walk around the wonderful Lao Cai here in Vietnam. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. I've just had a fabulous coffee here at Highlands Coffee, a Vietnamese brand of coffee, very much like Starbucks and Costa back in the UK. Beautiful place, very nice. Also had a croissant, nice hot croissant. And now I'm just out to continue the rest of my walk. And I need to remember actually to unpause my workout on my watch. There we go. So we're back in action. And it's an absolutely gorgeous day. It's 30 degrees today. Hot, sunny, beautiful, blue sky. It's just nice to be out and about and having that little break. I actually had it was a cookies and cream. Can only describe it as a milkshake with coffee inside it. It was absolutely amazing, so that was really good. And now I'm going to carry on with my walk, getting out and about. It's all important. Just walking in a little bit of the shade here. I'm going to walk across over to the other side and through the town. But I just thought I would start my video off. I don't know what to do with my sunglasses here. Put them on my hat. I've got my Warrington Wolves hat on, everybody. Get the badge in. Got to let everybody see your support for your team. Warrington, good start this year, 2 wins from 3. Their next match is actually on Thursday, but it'll be at some ridiculous time for me at about 2:30 a.m. on Friday morning. So I'm going to get up and watch that during the night. Try and watch them whenever I can do. Used to enjoy going to watch them in real life at the ground. Obviously can't do that when you're living in Vietnam. It'll be a little bit of a round trip just to go and see them, but I would do if I could do. It's amazing what the weather's does. It just sort of changed these last few days. It was like this a couple of weeks ago, very, very hot, and then it went cold again, and now it's gone hot again. So I'm expecting another cold one next week, I think. And yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, just adjusting a couple of the settings there on my DJI Osmo Pocket 2 just to make it a little bit better. Again, in these massively bright scenes, it's very hard to get the camera to expose correctly. It's certainly exposing correctly for my face, but the background tends to blow out. I'm not going to go through this craziness again, but I started off just now with a few manual settings, and I've just gone straight back into auto. I can't be faffing about as much as I was last week with these videos. They're just a vlog for me to record what I'm up to on a daily basis, be able to get out and about around this beautiful place. And obviously sunshine. I've got a fantastic Greg Norman shirt on here. It's got pineapples on it in blue and yellow, same colours as my Warrington hat, and I'm wearing a pair of shorts, getting the legs out, try and get a bit of sun back on me. Having lived in the UAE for over 12 months recently, I'm used to being in the sun, so it's nice to be out here in the sun, not having to wear a bobble hat, not having to wear a hoodie and layers underneath that. And I'm sure once I finish my walk, I'll be grateful of getting back into the air conditioning in the hotel. But yeah, it's just good to be alive and out and about, getting it done, following those mottos. I believe how quick things are going. It's what, 6th of March already. Can't believe it. Had amazing pizza last night. Oof. Tell you, that whole ham and pineapple thing, I just don't get it. People saying it doesn't belong on a pizza, has no place to be on a pizza. I get it, if you don't like it, just don't have it, but suggesting it doesn't even belong on it, it's like, well, you don't have the one that has pineapple on it then. Simple. Let me flip it round so you guys get to see a bit more, so give you some nice indication of this wonderful weather. I'll pop over down near the river here. See, everywhere looks amazing when the sun shines out, doesn't it? Look at those beautiful flowers, purple. Look at these big buildings here. That's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th floor. Generally, the 5th floor is where people will do their washing. They'll have the washing machine, drying machine, and possible to dry outside. They'll have a covered area, so when it rains, they can still do their drying. Looks like this one's actually for sale. And there's the river coming up. I actually crossed the road so you can see the river in its full glory with the blue sky. We get to see some of the hills in the background in a valley here in Lao Cai. Behind me on the other side, can't see, but that's the sort of way to the mountains. It'd be a perfect day actually to be up in Sapa town. Went up the mountain in foggy and misty conditions. I really would love to go back and get up there in perfect blue sky conditions and make the most of the views. And I think I'll get up there at some point soon. I'm heading back to the Philippines soon for a break, and I think maybe just before I go there I'll probably get a chance to pop up to Sapa again. Wow, look at this. There we go. Red River. Still Vietnam. At this stage where I'm at in the river, it's Vietnam on both sides, but further up, as you've seen on my other videos, you've got Vietnam on one side and China on the other. Still amazes me that you can be so close to another country, another culture, different foods, different people, different ways of doing things, different languages, completely different languages. See some of the hills here. If you go further in that direction, there's more and more of those foresty style hills. And then on the other side, you won't see any of it, but on the far side there you'll have the hills where the golf course is, and then the mountains in the distance, which is the Fancy Pan mountain range where Sapa town is. Oh, it's just so nice to get some sun on my skin, you know. It's just hard to explain how cold I've been recently. An issue you have with coldness is AC systems. If they're not a dual system, i.e. they don't have a hot and a cold, there's no real way of warming yourself up if you've not got a heater. And the hotel only has a one-way AC, so it's a cool one, or off. And obviously trying to find the right balance in the cold weather is quite difficult. It's wrapping up and staying warm, and you never really get warm. That's why getting out and about has been so helpful in that sense. And now it's hot outside, it's the opposite. Get the AC on, get out in the heat now, get some sun on, get my sun cream. It's quite an interesting place, considering how hot it gets in the summer. The lack of sun cream available and the choice of sun cream here is really bizarre. If you're lucky, you might find some Nivea, but very much you'll find a lot of these moisturizers that contain SPF, which is what I'm actually using myself, rather than a pure sun cream that you'd find in the UK and other places around the world. It's quite strange to only have that as an option. You'd think they'd have a lot more choice of sun creams, especially in like Hanoi, for example, where I used to live. You get a lot of tourists there, and if they're not used to that hot weather, they're going to be looking for sun cream. Just a strange situation not to have a huge choice. Maybe places like the UK are just totally over commercialised and there's far too much choices. You know, I'm sure there's huge selection of sun cream in Asda and Tesco and Sainsbury's, considering the country doesn't really get a lot of sun. There's so many different brands making them, the home brand as well as the supermarkets, and obviously the known brands like your Niveas and your L'Oreals. Let's have a look at this river. It's a shame you can't actually walk right next to the river. You're sort of looking down on it from up here, but it'd be nice if there were a lower level that you could actually have a better view. It's probably something to do with the closeness of the borders in terms of China and Vietnam. Both of them don't want people finding ways across. There's a couple of little boats out there, fishing boat I would think. It actually looks like it's slightly sinking. Maybe it's just the way it looks from this distance, but yeah. So I'm going to do two walks today. One to this sort of lunchtime walk, which is I'm on at the moment, and then one in the evening when it goes cooler. Because at the moment it is getting down to say 12 degrees at night time, which is perfect to get out and about and do some good steps. You know, when it's 30 degrees, you're going to move a little bit less. You're going to do a lot less in terms of exercise timing. although that breeze is perfect, I really wish I had a bike right now, because that breeze would be absolutely perfect for being out on a bike and being able to get over to those areas on that side and getting up towards those hills and seeing what this place has to offer. And I've not even found anywhere that's renting bicycles. There's a few places that are selling them, and there's some really cheap ones available, obviously Chinese brands, but they're just so heavy as a bike. It's like, you know, I could just go and buy one now and get on it, but it just wouldn't be beneficial at all. It was so heavy, and there's very little choice in the more premium bike range, the lighter bike range. So I'm sort of holding out a little bit, and probably have to get one from Hanoi and bring it up at some point, depending on my future plans. But yeah, missing being on the bike, especially in an interesting country like this where there is some things to see. UAE and Abu Dhabi, great to get on the bike, but there was a lot less to see in the area I was living in particular. So, you know, any videos I did do was just me sat on a bench, really cooling down halfway on my bike ride. Just reminded me of the key mottos for my motivation and inspiration. But in terms of doing content videos, I'd have to have perhaps go into the centre of Abu Dhabi or a centre of Dubai, or the beaches, or the, you know, the sort of areas where you generally see content being created. But I wasn't that interested in doing anything really interesting video wise at that point. Whereas I've sort of found a new found joy, a little bit of a hobby, walking around filming. That'd be good to look back years to come as well. This is where I've lived. Being able to look at this place, remind myself of the area I was in. Takes me back there, takes me back to the mindset that I was in. I'm trying to talk about things I'm thinking about, trying to talk about things I'm learning about, reading about. You know, recently it's been about editing videos and YouTube and how to increase viewers on a channel. Still don't understand it, still don't get it. Still a mystery. Bit Tet restaurant, there we go, that's where I was last night for my pizza. Stunning pizza in there, really recommend it. Honestly, it was fabulous. Ham and pineapple Hawaiian with a little bit of twist. I added some extra ground pepper and some chili and garlic soy sauce, I think it was. I really made an improvement to that already great pizza, which absolutely has to have pineapple on it. There's another place there, Saigon Pizza Cafe and Pizza. Yeah, so there's a few little ones selling pizzas. There didn't seem to be many around. I know there's a Pizza Hut quite a long way out towards the other end of the town. No, you can't walk it really, it's quite a long way. And there's a couple of the restaurants similar to what I was in yesterday, same brand. And by the looks of it, there's a few smaller places doing pizza, and definitely some of the restaurants that serve other things have pizza on the menu. But I'm surprised there's not a pizza 4 Ps. Mentioned that just on my live video earlier. One of the best pizzas I've ever had is from Pizza 4 Ps in Hanoi. Basically a curry on a pizza, and the bread very much like a naan bread. So basically a curry, a huge naan bread in the shape of a pizza with curry on the top. Absolutely beautiful. That's quite a big brand in Vietnam for pizzas. There's that boat. It's not sinking, it's just moored out. Don't see any more boats up here. There's actually one driving about over there. Vietnamese flag on it. An interesting trip to do that, actually, to jump on a boat and travel down the Red River or up the Red River, whichever way you go, and see where it takes you and where you can go. It'd be interesting. I remember going to Katba Island, and the area around there was just amazing. We had a beautiful time. We stayed on a boat for overnight. I think we did one night on it, maybe two, can't remember. And then we had a couple of nights in the hotel, and we had a great time over there. It's such an amazing place. The backdrop just makes you feel like you're on Mars or somewhere just out of this world. have a look, you know, Cat Ba. It's an amazing place. Managed to get a nice trip, I think in the middle of COVID, maybe after COVID. I say after COVID, but after the lockdown times. After the dark times. Just reminded me of Star Wars. Huh? It's funny being born in 1976 and Star Wars is such a big thing for me when I was a kid. The three original ones, obviously Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Still can't refer to the original Star Wars as A New Hope. To me it's just Star Wars. Never got into the prequels. Quite like the story idea, obviously, how they brought upon the various characters that are in the original ones. And the more recent trilogy I actually enjoyed much better than the prequels in my mind. Just interesting how the Star Wars franchise progresses, especially with these sort of offshoots that's been on recently, you know, obviously Boba Fett and the Mandalorian and more recently the Kenobi series. Interesting what the next feature film will be. There's those little allotments by the river. It's nice. Oh, it'd be so good there just to chill out in a chair in the sun or in the shade, whichever. Just being down there, out of the way. Nice. Right, I'm going to leave you all to it. Let me flip the camera around. That's good. It's a beautiful weather. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my walk. I'm going quite slow here as I'm doing my video, so I'm going to get back into it now and keep focusing on those three key mottos: get up, get out, get it done. Do something today to improve your tomorrows, and what can be measured can be improved. I'm going to enjoy this sunshine as much as I possibly can. You just never know how long it's going to last. At the moment, like I say, last week it was freezing cold. The week before was hot. This week is hot. Is next week going to be cold again? Don't know. We'll find out. All exciting. Anyway, take care. Stay safe. Stay awesome. I'll see you all again soon for another update. My vlog as I'm living in Vietnam. Showing you a little bit of where I'm living. And coming soon, Philippines. Go and see the family in the Philippines and get some vlog videos done over there as well. So take care. Stay safe.